Hi guys, Commander Lil D is here today. And welcome to Zach's Q&A episode 20.
Sorry for a nearly month delay for episode 19, but I guess the previous episode is a special, due to me going for a cruise last week.
But now, this will be a normal episode for today. Either way, let's see what I got some questions from last episode.
We have 4 users and 59 questions, including 11 bonus questions.
First, I am going to answer the main questions before the bonus questions, shall we? The first questions is from USTA, Minecraft Rock the Movies Fanatic. And he said 1. What is the first 20th Century Studios/MGM film to use Fox Searchlight Pictures logo? 2. What is the first and last Disney/Warner Brothers film to use 1985 Touchstone Pictures logo in adult-oriented only? 3. What is the first and last Universal/Sony film to use John William fanfare on 1997 logo? 4. Is Tomorrow Never Dies and Species 2 is the first 20th Century Studios/MGM film to have David Newman fanfare? 5. Is The Ant Bully and Happy Feet is the first Disney/Warner Brothers film to have 2006 logo as family-oriented film? 6. What is the first Universal/Sony film to use 1963 logo? 7. What is the first TWC/Universal film to use 1987 Miramax Films logo? 8. What is the first Warner Brothers/Paramount film to have New Line Cinema logo? 9. What is the first Sony/Miramax film to have TriStar Pictures logo? 10. What is the first Lionsgate/Fox film to use 2013 logo and the last one to use 2005 logo? 11. What is Paramount version of Summit Entertainment? 12. Is Sherlock Gnomes is the only Fox/MGM film to have Blue Sky Studios? 13. Is Smallfoot is the only Disney/Warner Brothers film to have Pixar Animation Studios? 14. What is the first and last Disney/Warner Brothers film to have 1985 logo and family-oriented only? And lastly, 15. What is the first 20th Century Studios/MGM to have extended fanfare from CinemaScope version of 1953 logo?
1. August 1996 film would be the first 20th Century Studios/MGM films to use Fox Searchlight Pictures logo. 2. American Flyers would be the first Disney/Warner Brothers adult-oriented films to use the 1985 Touchstone Pictures logo as a films, while Cradle to the Grave will be last Disney/Warner Brothers adult-oriented films to use the 1985 Touchstone Pictures logo. 3. Not Another Teen Movie will be the first Universal/Sony films to use the E.T. variant of John Williams fanfare in both The Sweetest Thing and New Best Friend will be the last Universal/Sony films to use E.T. variant of John Williams fanfare, while The New Guy will be the first Universal/Sony films to use the normal variant of John Williams fanfare in both Darkness Falls and Anatomy 2 will be the last Universal/Sony films to use normal variant of John Williams fanfare. 4. Yes, but Tomorrow Never Dies will use the different 1997 David Newman fanfare, the fanfare that used for Anastasia, animated Don Bluth film, while Species 2, along with Storefront Hitchcock will use the normal 1998 David Newman fanfare. 5. Yes, both The Ant Bully and Happy Feet, along with How to Eat Fried Worms, will have the first Disney/Warner Brothers, family-oriented, film to use the 2006 Walt Disney Pictures logo. 6. The Running Man, 1963 film, will be the first Universal/Sony films to use the 1963 logo. 7. Sharing with Me. Amazon Women on the Moon will be the first both Miramax/Universal and TWC/Universal films to use the 1987 Miramax Films logo. 8. Charlie One Eye will be the first Warner Brothers/Paramount films to use the New Line Cinema logo. 9. Crossover Dreams will be the first Sony/Miramax films to use the TriStar Pictures logo. 10. Sharing with Thunder Homes. Epic will be the first Lionsgate/Fox films to use the 2013 logo, while The Croods will be the last Lionsgate/Fox films to use the 2005-06 logo. 11. The Paramount version of Summit Entertainment will be Spelling Films International, 1991 to 1995, Spelling Films, 1996 to 1998, DreamWorks Pictures, 1997 to 2010, Paramount Classics, 2000 to 2007, Paramount Vantage, 2006 to 2012, CBS Films, 2010 to 2019, Paramount Players, 2018 present, Miramax, 2020 present, and Republic Pictures, 2023 present. 12. Yes, Sherlock Gnomes will be the only Fox/MGM films to co-produced with Blue Sky Studios.
13. Yes, Smallfoot would be the only Disney/Warner Brothers films to be co-produced with Pixar Animation Studios.
14. Sesame Street presents follow that Bird will be the first Disney/Warner Brothers family-oriented films to use the 1985 Walt Disney Pictures logo, while both The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants and Hoot, Theatrical, and Bah, Humduck. A Looney Tunes Christmas, direct-to-video, will be the final Disney/Warner Brothers family-oriented films to use the 1985 Walt Disney Pictures logo.
15. The Student Prince will be the first 20th Century Fox Studios/MGM films to use the extended fanfare from CinemaScope version of 1953 logo. And the second question is from Dafa Media. And he said, what owners for CBS, USA, Network 10, Australia, and Channel 5, UK? The CBS owner was Paramount Skydance, while Network 10 and Channel 5 owner was Paramount Networks UK and Australia, Paramount Skydance Corporation, while CBS parent is CBS Entertainment Group, Network 10 parent is Network 10 Proprietary Limited and Channel 5 parent is Channel 5 Broadcasting Limited. The third question is from Mihai Petrariu. And he said 1. What do you think of Madoka Kan-Aim? 2. What do you think of Sailor Moon? 3. What are your thoughts on Windows 11 26H1? 4. What are your thoughts on upcoming GOAT film? 5. What do you think of Primal Season 3? 6. What are your thoughts of my NES dock games? 7. What do you think of Konosuba? 8. What do you think of Zelda's 40th anniversary? 9. What do you think of Pixar's 40th anniversary? 10. What do you think of Cookie Run? 11. What do you think of Sonic the Hedgehog 35th anniversary? 12. What are your thoughts on Thomas's new look? 13. What do you think of Yoshi in the Super Mario Galaxy movie trailer? 14. What do you think of DreamWorks' upcoming movie Forgotten Island? 15. What are your thoughts on Wonder Man? 16. What do you think of movie adaptation of Street Fighter? 17. What do you think of Search for SquarePants? 18. What do you think of the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack reruns on Cartoon Network? 19. What do you think of The Secret Saturdays? 20. What do you think of Jason Momoa look as Lobo? 21. What do you think of Strawberry Shortcake's cutest new look resembling the original design? 22. What do you think of Spider-Noir trailer? 23. What are your thoughts on Spider-Gwen and Spider-Punk being in active development? 24. What do you think of the Owl House graphic novel The Long Live King? 25. What do you think of Sophia, Royal Magic? 26. What do you think of Matt Brawley's next animated project Clara and the Below? 27. What do you think of Cartoon Network being on Tubi? 28. What are your thoughts on Sony shuts down Bluepoint? 29. What do you think of Ben 10 comic book? 30. What are your thoughts on Toy Story 5 trailer? 31. What are your thoughts on Sophia the First, Royal Magic? 32. What do you think of Cedric the Wizard? 33. What do you think of Muppet Treasure Island? 34. What are your thoughts on Early Man? 35. What do you think of Mr. Rogers? 36. What do you think of my AU and future take on Toho? 37. What do you think of Courage the Cowardly Dog? 38. What are your thoughts on Paramount officially owning Warner Brothers after Netflix lost? 39. What do you think of Strawberry Shortcake original 1980s? 40. What do you think of Crimson Desert? 41. What do you think of Resident Evil 9, Requiem? 42. What do you think of Kristen Bell as Amy Rose? Fact, she voiced Anna in Frozen. 43. What do you think of my future timeline take on Toho? 1. She's so cute. 2. I have two separate things to answer. Character, she's good. Show, awesome magical girl show. 3. It was a very awesome type of Windows 11. 4. A very good movie, one of my favorites movie of 2026, despite it already been released. 5. It's a very good season of that show. 6. Nice document of your NES games. 7. I've only seen a few episodes of this anime series and I find it really good. 8. Cool anniversary of the first fully CGI animation studios. 9. Very awesome anniversary of the video games franchise. 10. It was a cool game. 11. Awesome anniversary of this video game franchise. 12. His new look kinda okay to me. 13. It look awesome and cool. 14. It looked like an awesome original film for DreamWorks Animation to make. 15. It was an awesome show from Marvel Television. 16. It was a good movie from 1994. 17. It was a good movie from Nickelodeon Movies last year. 18. It was good that Cartoon Network aired its original series that came out in the late 2000s, during its dark/CN Real era, although, I hate CN Real, recently. 19. It awesome show and it was the last Cartoon Network original series that premiered in the 2000s due to CN Real taking over in 2009,
which I still hate CN Real and its live-action series. 20. He looks so great being as Lobo. 21. She is very cute with her new look resembling her original design. 22. This trailer look awesome. 23. I bet those spin-offs would be so cool then I going to see it when it come out. 24. I think this will be a good graphic novel based on an animated series. 25. I bet this going to an awesome sequel to Sophia the First. 26. I hope that Matt Brawley's next animated project, Clara and the Below, will be awesome. 27. It's awesome that Tubi add Cartoon Network shows on its streaming service. Too bad they didn't put Class of 3000, although it did make an cameo on the grim adventures of KND end credits. 28. IT was not cool because Sony shutting down Bluepoint is a not a good idea. 29. Cool comic book based on Ben 10, original series. 30. Awesome trailer for Pixar next upcoming movie. 31. Like I said in answer number 25, I bet this going to an awesome sequel to Sophia the First. 32. He is a cool character from Sophia the First. 33. It was an amazing movie based on the Muppets. 34. It was a great Aardman movie. 35. He is an awesome person and hosting his own show called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. 36. It was so good for your use and future take on that franchises. 37. Good and classic Cartoon Network show from late 1999. 38. Very disappointed. Because I want Netflix to win the bid. Because of this, it like Disney acquiring 21st Century Fox over again, but with Paramount acquiring Warner Brothers. 39. It was a cool show from the 1980s and it was the first Strawberry Shortcake TV series franchises. 40. Never played it, but it looked cool. 41. Despite being survival horror game, which I don't like it, this game looks so cool. 42. She will be great at voicing Amy Rose in upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog 4. 43. Awesome future take on Toho. And the fourth question is from USTA, Windows Media // Windows and Sony Fan 2K7. And he said, what do you think of my videos on When in Rome, 2010, Universal AU? Note, this film is the next Kristen Bell movie after Sarah Marshall and Couples Retreat. It was a great Universal AU of When in Rome, but in my AUs, Timeline ZB and Timeline LD, will still have Touchstone Pictures distributed it like in real life version. Now we move on to the bonus questions. The first bonus questions is from USTA, Minecraft Rock the Movies Fanatic. And he said 1. What is Disney/Touchstone version of Dirty Harry franchise? 2. What is 20th Century Studios version of Pink Panther movies? 3. What is Lionsgate version of Blue Sky Studios movies? 4. What is Universal version of Bad Boys movies? 5. What is Warner Brothers version of Beverly Hills Cops? 1. Dirty Harry to the Enforcer, the Scope 1966 version of 1960, Buena Vista Distribution Colorado, Inc. logo. Sudden Impact, the Scope 1979 version of Buena Vista Distribution Colorado, Inc. logo. The Deadpool, the 1987 version of 1985 Touchstone Pictures logo with John Dedney fanfare with twang note at the end. 2. The Pink Panther, 1963, To a Shot in the Dark, the 1953 20th Century Fox logo with CinemaScope, picture, snipe and extended 1954 Alfred Newman fanfare. Inspector Clouseau to the Return of the Pink Panther, the Scope 1968 version of 1953 20th Century Fox logo with 1935 Alfred Newman fanfare. The Pink Panther Strikes Again to Revenge of the Pink Panther, the Scope 1976 version of 1953 20th Century Fox logo with 1935 Alfred Newman fanfare. Trail of the Pink Panther to Curse of the Pink Panther, the Scope Original Coloring 1981 20th Century Fox logo with short Lionel Newman fanfare. Son of the Pink Panther. The Scope Recoloring 1981 20th Century Fox logo with short Lionel Newman fanfare. The Pink Panther, 2006 The enhanced 1997 Universal Pictures logo with 2002/2004/2005 URL byline and Jerry Goldsmith fanfare in 2005 recoloring version of 1994 20th Century Fox logo with 1998 rearranged of David Newman fanfare. The Pink Panther 2. The 2006 recoloring version of 1994 20th Century Fox logo with 1998 rearranged of David Newman fanfare and enhanced 1997 Universal Pictures logo with 2002/2004/2005 URL byline and Jerry Goldsmith fanfare. 3. Sharing with Thunder Homes. Ice Age, the 1998 Lionsgate Films logo with Lionsgate Entertainment byline and Robert J. Walsh fanfare. Robots, the green-tinted 2004 Lionsgate Films logo with Lionsgate Entertainment byline. Ice Age, The Meltdown to Ice Age, Continental Drift, The Flat, Ice Age, The Meltdown to Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, 2D Prints, Only, and Scope, Rio and Ice Age, Continental Drift Only, Normal version of 2005-06 Lionsgate logo with Bill Johnson fanfare.
Ice Age.
Dawn of the Dinosaurs, 3D Prints The Mixed, Normal and Rugged, version of 2005-06 Lionsgate logo with Bill Johnson fanfare, but when the gate opened, it was snowing on the logo. Epic to Spies in Disguise, The Scope, Epic and Rio 2, Ice Age, Collision Course to Spies in Disguise, and Flat, The Peanuts Movie Only, 2013 Lionsgate logo with Billy Mallory and Jason Johnson fanfare.
Nimona, bonus. The Scope 2022 Lionsgate Plus logo with U2 Kanwoo fanfare and Scope 2013 Lionsgate logo with Billy Mallory and Jason Johnson fanfare. 4. Bad Boys, the 1990 Universal Pictures logo with MCA byline. Bad Boys 2, the Scope original zoomed out 1997 Universal Pictures logo with 2002/2004/2005 URL byline. Bad Boys for Life and Bad Boys, Ride or Die, the Scope 2012 Universal Pictures logo with Comcast byline and Brian Tyler fanfare. 5. Beverly Hills Cop and Beverly Hills Cop 2, the 1984 Warner Brothers logo with Warner Communications byline and Jerry Goldsmith version of Max Steiner fanfare. Beverly Hills Cop 3, the 1984 Warner Brothers logo with Time Warner Entertainment byline and modern version of 1930s Max Steiner fanfare. Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F., the Scope 2023 Max Originals logo with Z-League Sound Music, Scope 2023 Warner Brothers Pictures logo with Warner Brothers Discovery byline and Scope 2023 Domain Entertainment logo. And the second bonus questions is from Manuel Perez. And he said 1. What is Disney version of Warner Brothers Pictures animation movies? 2. What is 20th Century Studios version of the Pink Panther movies? 3. What is Universal version of Sony Pictures animation movies? 4. What is Lionsgate version of Blue Sky Studios movies? 5. What is Universal version of Spider-Man movies? 6. What is Warner Brothers version of Transformers movies? 1. Including Warner Brothers feature animation.
Space Jam: The Quest for Camelot, the 1991 filmed version of 1985 Walt Disney Pictures logo with later 1985 John Dedney fanfare. The Iron Giant, the 1996 Scope, the one with the flash that's shaped like an oval, version of 1985 Walt Disney Pictures logo.
Osmosis Jones, the Scope 2000 blue-tinted Walt Disney Pictures logo. Looney Tunes, Back in Action, the Scope 1994 filmed version of 1985 Walt Disney Pictures logo. The Lego Movie and the Lego Movie 2. The second part, the Scope 2011 version of 2006 Walt Disney Pictures logo, but it used the same Lego The Incredibles variant, and Scope 2007 Walt Disney Animation Studios logo, but it was LEGOified. Storks to the Lego Batman Movie, Scoob, and DC League of Super Pets, the Scope 2011 version of 2006 Walt Disney Pictures logo with Mark Mancina fanfare, all expect the Lego Batman Movie only, and 2007 Walt Disney Animation Studios logo with Steamboat Willie whistling and page flipping sound effect, Scoob, only, and have darker blue tinted in it, the Lego Batman Movie only. The Lego Ninjago Movie, the Scope 2011 version of 2006 Walt Disney Pictures logo, but it used the same Saving Mr. Banks variant and Scope 2007 Walt Disney Animation Studios logo, but as a style of the 1948 Walt Disney Productions logo. Smallfoot, the Scope 2011 version of 2006 Walt Disney Pictures logo with Mark Mancina fanfare, but at the end of the logo, it's snowing in Scope 2008 version of 1995 Pixar Animation Studios logo with Luxo Jr. Senai squishing sound effect, but it was also snowing on the logo as well. Tom and Jerry to Space Jam, A New Legacy, the 2011 version of 2006 Walt Disney Pictures logo. Coyote vs. Acme, spoilers, the 2024 version of 2022 Walt Disney Pictures logo with Christoph Beck fanfare. The Cat in the Hat, 2026, to Onward, spoilers, the 2024 version of 2022 Walt Disney Pictures logo with Christoph Beck fanfare in 2007 Walt Disney Animation Studios logo with Steamboat Willie, despite entering into public domain in 2024 to Onwards, whistling and page flipping sound effect. 2. I already answered that question. 3. Open season to Surf's Up and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, The Flat, Open Season and Surf's Up Only, and Scope, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs Only. Enhanced 1997 Universal Pictures logo with 2002/2004/2005 URL byline and Jerry Goldsmith fanfare. Open Season 2, the zoomed-in enhanced 1997 Universal Pictures logo with 2002/2004/2005 URL byline and Jerry Goldsmith fanfare. Open Season 3, the zoomed-in enhanced 1997 Universal Pictures logo with NBC Universal byline and Jerry Goldsmith fanfare. The Smurfs, 2011, To Arthur Christmas, the enhanced 1997 Universal Pictures logo with NBC Universal byline and Jerry Goldsmith fanfare. Pirates, Band of Misfits to Hotel Transylvania, The Scope, Pirates, Band of Misfits only, and Flat, Hotel Transylvania only, 2012 Universal Pictures logo with 100th anniversary version, Comcast byline and Brian Tyler fanfare. The Smurfs 2 to Goosebumps, the Angry Birds movie, not involvement with Sony Pictures Animation, Smurfs, The Lost Village to the Angry Birds Movie 2, Peter Rabbit, The Runaway, not involvement with Sony Pictures Animation, Spider-Man, Beyond the Spider-Verse, Go to Onwards, The Flat, The Smurfs 2, Hotel Transylvania 2, The Angry Birds Movie, not involvement with
Sony Pictures Animation, Smurfs, The Lost Village, The Star, Hotel Transylvania, Summer Vacation and The Angry Birds Movie 2, and Scope, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, Goosebumps, The Emoji Movie, Peter Rabbit, Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween to Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, Peter Rabbit, The Runaway, not involvement with Sony Pictures Animation, Spider-Man, Beyond the Spider-Verse, GOAT, 2012 Universal Pictures logo with Comcast byline, green, purple or blue tint and Brian Tyler fanfare.
Open Season, Scared Silly and Surf's Up 2, Wave Mania.
The 2012 Universal Pictures logo with Comcast byline and home entertainment coloring version. The Mitchells vs. the Machines to Wish Dragon and Hotel Transylvania, Transformania. The original 2020 Peacock Originals logo with original U2 Kanwoo music and 2012 Universal Pictures logo with Comcast byline and Brian Tyler fanfare. Vivo, the Scope Original 2020 Peacock Originals logo with original U2 Kanwoo fanfare and Scope 1963 Universal Pictures logo with Comcast byline and in a orange/yellow Eurostyle bold font, similar to American-made, Apollo 11, 2019, International, and Black Phone 2 variants. K-pop, Demon Hunters to Fixed, The Scope, K-pop, Demon Hunters only, and Flat, Fixed only, enhanced 2020 Peacock Originals logo with enhanced U2 Kanwoo music and Scope, K-pop, Demon Hunters only, and Flat, Fixed only. 2012 Universal Pictures logo with Comcast byline and Brian Tyler fanfare. 4. I already answered that question. 5. I already answered that question in the previous episode. 6. Transformers, 2007, to Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, the Scope Original 1998 Warner Brothers Pictures logo with Time Warner byline, Scope later 1994 New Line Cinema logo with Time Warner byline and Scope 2006 Legendary Pictures logo, but a series of robotic noises are heard throughout the logos.
Transformers, Dark of the Moon, the Scope Original 1998 Warner Brothers
Pictures logo with Time Warner byline and Scope 2010 Legendary Pictures logo, but a series of robotic noises are heard throughout the logo when the camera pans up from Legendary Pictures logo, which darkens away, to the stars to sky to the opening titles for the prologue.
Transformers, Age of Extinction, the Scope Enhanced 1998 Warner Brothers
Pictures logo with Time Warner byline, Scope 2014 Legendary Entertainment logo and Scope 2014 Rat Pack Entertainment logo without text, but a series of robotic noises are heard throughout the logos.
Transformers, The Last Night, opening titles. The 1993 Warner Brothers Pictures print logo with Time Warner byline is metallic with texture on a black background and 2014 Rat Pack Entertainment print logo with Access Entertainment byline has the same variation immediately afterwards. Prologue, the enhanced 1998 Warner Brothers Pictures logo with Time Warner byline is tinted in midnight blue and animates as usual with robotic transforming sounds, launching fireballs fly in from behind the shield, as the camera starts to follow the fireball to where the prologue begins. Bumblebee, the enhanced 1998 Warner Brothers Pictures logo with 2018 Warner Media byline and 2018 Access Entertainment logo, but a series of robotic noises are heard throughout the logos. Transformers, Rise of the Beasts, the Scope 2021 Warner Brothers Pictures with later Warner Brothers Discovery byline and Scope 2019 Legendary Entertainment logo, but a series of robotic noises are heard throughout the logos and for Warner Brothers Pictures, the logo fades out just as the shine on the top left shield brightened down. Transformers 1, the Scope 2023 Warner Brothers Pictures logo with later Warner Brothers Discovery byline, Scope 2019 Legendary Entertainment logo and Scope 2023 Domain Entertainment logo, but a series of robotic noises are heard throughout the logos. Well, that's all for the questions for today. If you want to answer some more questions for me, comment down below the description to answer more questions for me. Deadline is on March 31st, so you better answer questions for me until March 31st. And I'll see you guys later in the next Sax Q&A episodes. This is Commander Lil D signing off.
you.